Hey everyone, and welcome back to the channel. Today we're taking a look at this Porter cable air compressor. Customer brought it in and said that he couldn't get any pressure out of the regulator. So the tank pressure would show good, but hooking up a hose or anything, absolutely no pressure whatsoever. I adjusted the regulator up and down a couple times, and then it started leaking heavily out of the regulator, which is the knob in front. I'm going to show you how to diagnose and repair an issue if you have the same or a similar one, whether it's on a Porter cable, a DeWalt, or any other brand out there. If it looks like this, it's going to be the same process and technique. Don't forget to hit those like and subscribe buttons as we go along if you enjoy the content. There's really not a whole lot to these air compressors. If we're getting good tank pressure, but nothing out the regulator side, even if we're turning the regulator all the way in clockwise, then that's going to tell you there's an issue with the regulator. The same if it is leaking down at the regulator itself. If you're not getting tank pressure and the compressor just runs and runs, you'd want to look at the piston in the cylinder or the check valve that's over on the left-hand side here. That is what you would want to address. Here we know we were getting perfect pressure. It would actually shut off when I first plugged it in. As soon as I started messing with that regulator in and out though, it just leaks out the regulator now. Let me show you exactly what it does. We're hearing that leaking. That's all coming from the regulator. This is fixed fairly easily on these units. All we're going to need is a T10 to take a Torx screw right out of the bottom here. T10 Torx, or right out of the top rather. We're just going to unscrew that to get this cover off. And it comes straight up and away. Once we have the cover off, we can see the whole regulator assembly, which consists of two parts, one in the back that unscrews, and then the knob itself and a few components up here. You want to make sure that the gauges are actually working. Unplug this and drain off any tank pressure by releasing this blowout valve to make sure that we're not working under pressure. You can get hurt if that's the case. Sometimes the gauges will lie to you. If the output gauge is lying, then you could be still getting pressure to anything that you have. So you can use a gauge plugged in or just plug in some sort of air tool and see if you're getting anything out. Sometimes, again, the gauge will go bad, and that's the only problem you have. Even though the regulator is working, the gauge is not telling you the same thing. We can unscrew the regulator down here, just counterclockwise. And we're going to have a spring come out, and then we have a piece right here inside that spring, and that is actually part of the regulator assembly, and that is what's broken here. This piece. It's supposed to be all part of another piece that I'm sure is still stuck up in there that I'll show you here shortly. Let's take the backside out. We're just going to use a 17 millimeter. I'm going to use a ratcheting wrench here and just unscrew that. It also has a 6-point hex you could use if you don't have a 17, or an adjustable wrench will work just fine most times too. That one to come out real easy by hand. Okay. Once we're all the way unscrewed, we can take that out, and that is all of the assembly in the back. It's actually 3 pieces. It doesn't want to come apart right now, but it is 3 pieces. There we go. So we've got this piece at the back. It's got an O-ring here, and then also around the middle, and then this spring. You can see it's all gunked up. And then the other piece, which has some rubber on it. Those are the pieces that come in the rebuild kit to fix this. That should go in and out and spring in and out very easily. This one's just all messed up. There it goes. Wants to work now that it's out. Everything else is out, but the remaining piece of that regulator, that has to come out. So I'm just going to use a pick and pull it out. And that's what's left. We can clean up in here real well. I like to use just isopropyl alcohol on a clean rag, because we're going to grease the new one up when we put it back in there. We don't want all that stuff to hang it up at all. Just got isopropyl. I like to use isopropyl because it dries nice and clean. Doesn't really seem like there's too much in here, but there is enough. We want to clean it up. And that'll dry out very quickly as we get everything else prepped to get it down in there. And it won't leave residue that'll ruin any of those O-rings. I've got a new repair kit here. This is actually aftermarket. I've never used an aftermarket kit on this. I don't know how they work at all. The customer declined this repair. I'm fixing this for my own use. Looks like it comes with lube, but look at the small amount of lube in there. We want to lube up all these O-rings before we put everything together, but I'm going to use some, it's reliability proven grease, but it's really equivalent to Chemplex 710. Lube up the O-ring there. Lube up the O-ring around the outside of our piece here. I'm also going to stick a little bit of lube where we just cleaned out with that isopropyl alcohol. So there's some lube on that side. You can see the original versus the replacement. This is going to go in with the spring on this side. So this part in towards that back part. A little bit of lube there. We'll reinstall all of this at the same. It never hurts on this little rubber, just to throw a little lube on there too. And then inside here, so it's kind of on both sides. And that's where this is going to ride. And it pushes in, it seals, but it's nice and easy. Just how it should do. As we go to put the knob on, we can see there is a tiny little keeper, and that's supposed to keep this knob from actually coming off. There's no way to get it off without just forcing it past though. So when we put it back on though, if we're not replacing the knob, you can if yours is in bad shape. We're just going to pinch that back, that way it goes on easier. And there is a hair bit of metal in here from taking that off that we're going to just wash off or out. I'm using QD electronic cleaner. Obviously you don't want to get it on your new parts. Wait for that to dry. It should only take a few seconds and it should be ready to go. Then we can also, on this bigger O-ring, put some lube, and we're going to put it down flush with the bottom, all the way down in there. A little bit of extra lube isn't going to hurt anything. I almost forgot, we do need the bigger O-ring out of this kit to go around here. We'll put some, not sure, that might be the smaller one. Kind of looks like it is. That's too big. It's not fitting tightly around those threads. This says it's for different model years and stuff. As far as the kit goes. Yeah, so that's feeling better. Perfect. We'll put these back in, get everything lubed up, spring on, this in, and that's just going to go straight down through. You can clean that out real well too. I use just a little bit of that electronics cleaner, and then we've got to kind of line it up as we screw it in so we don't get it cross-threaded. Got our 17mm again. tighten that all the way down. You don't want to over tighten, you're just going into aluminum that's cast. You can strip it. You should be able to see the piece we just installed, and if you push it, it should spring back. If it sticks, then we know we still have an issue. We can put this straight in. Then our spring. Then is going to go the cap with that O-ring down inside. And we can screw that all on. I'm going to screw it all the way in to begin with. And then this pin, we're going to put that back down in so it can't come off when you unscrew it to the lowest setting. Let's go cover and screw back in. Let's test it out. Good pressure. The pressure built right up. It's showing about 100 psi on the regulated output. Not all the way up. Let's go a little higher. I wonder if that gauge is a little off because I'm all the way up and we're only showing 140 on this gauge. What does our other one say here? Well, I got some leaks. It's showing a little over 140. Apparently I didn't tape any of this. I wonder if it was a job I just did for something real quick. I'm only showing about 130 output here. We're dropping pressure a little bit pretty quick. But our regulator is working like it should. Now when we go pressure down, we'll drop and equalize where it wants to. So now we're at 90 psi. Now we're at about 65 or 70 psi. Wherever you want to adjust it is where it should stay, and it should stop leaking after just a second. I normally don't get hardly any leaking except when going down. Maybe just the aftermarket kit or who knows. But everything's working good. Definitely good enough for who it's for, I can tell you that. Not sure that I'll ever use an aftermarket again. I don't really like that. As I just went up, still leaking, still leaking. Yeah, definitely not perfect. See if it shuts off at a certain pressure here. Got it at 90, it's fine. Probably going to run it just right about 90 psi anyway. Got it up about 120 or so. It's not leaking or anything anymore. Again, I don't really know that I like that aftermarket kit we just put in there. I will put a link to it down below, but I'll also put a link to the OEM kit along with the knob should you need it. Quick and simple fix. It just takes a couple minutes to get this going. Hopefully this has helped you out if you had the same or a similar issue on your air compressor. Don't forget to hit those like and subscribe buttons if you enjoyed the content. Thanks for watching and have a great rest of your day.